Welcome back to 10-Minute Prophecy, where we go through the prophecies of Daniel and Revelation in bite-sized chunks. We hope that this journey through Bible prophecy has been enlightening, whether you are new to prophecy or have studied it in the past. As always, if you haven't seen the previous presentations, please watch them, as each prophecy builds on the other. Here is something to remember about Revelation. The 7 churches are the outline of the book of Revelation. Much like in Daniel, where the statue is the outline or foundation of all the prophecies. Here we are starting Revelation chapter 4. This part of the prophetic books gives us a glimpse into the sanctuary and the throne room of God. So let's begin. Verse 1 states, "After this I looked, and behold, a door was opened in heaven, and the first voice which I heard was as it were of a trumpet talking with me, which said, Come up hither, and I will show thee things which must be hereafter." In this passage, John is transported to a new scene where he sees a door standing open in heaven. A voice instructs him to ascend, marking the beginning of the revelations that will follow. The voice emphasizes that what he is about to witness pertains to the future. This is the introduction to what will be discussed in the following chapters in Revelation. Verses 2 to 5 state, "And immediately I was in the Spirit, and behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. And he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine stone, and there was a rainbow round about the throne, in sight like unto an emerald. And round about the throne were 24 seats, and upon the seats I saw 24 elders sitting clothed in white raiment, and they had on their heads crowns of gold. And out of the throne proceeded lightnings and thunderings and voices, and there were 7 lamps of fire burning before the throne, which are the 7 spirits of God." The question John once asked about a specific group often comes up regarding the 24 elders. Who are they, and where did they come from? It's clear that they are dressed in white robes and wear crowns of gold, symbols of both a battle fought and a victory won. From this, we can infer that they were once part of the Christian struggle, journeying through life like all believers, but have now overcome. For some divine purpose, ahead of the great multitude of the redeemed, they wear their crowns of victory in heaven. This is further confirmed by the song of praise they sing, along with the 4 living creatures in the 9th verse of the next chapter. And they sang a new song, saying, "You are worthy to take the scroll and open its seals, because you were slain, and with your blood you redeemed us to God from every tribe, language, people, and nation." This song is sung not in anticipation of future events, but to honor the Lamb's worthiness to open the seals, based on what he has already done, redeeming them. It reflects a completed and undeniable fact in their history. Therefore, these elders represent a group of redeemed individuals, redeemed from the earth, just as all must be, through the precious blood of Christ. Here the 7 lamps are introduced. In these lamps of fire we see a symbolic counterpart to the golden lampstand in the earthly sanctuary, which had 7 lamps that burned continually. This lampstand was placed in the first section of the earthly sanctuary according to God's instructions. Exodus 25:31 to 32, 37, 26:35, 27:20, etc. Now, when John describes a door opening in heaven and reveals a scene where he sees the heavenly counterpart of the earthly lampstand, it strongly suggests that he is looking into the first section of the heavenly sanctuary. Finally, verses 6 to 11 state, "And before the throne there was a sea of glass like unto crystal, and in the midst of the throne and round about the throne were 4 beasts full of eyes before and behind. And the first beast was like a lion, and the second beast like a calf. And the third beast had a face as a man, and the 4th beast was like a flying eagle. And the 4 beasts had each of them 6 wings about him, and they were full of eyes within, and they rest not day and night, saying, Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty, which was and is to come. And when those beasts give glory and honour and thanks to him that sat on the throne, who liveth for ever and ever, the 24 elders fall down before him that sat on the throne, and worship him that liveth for ever and ever, and cast their crowns before the throne, saying, Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honour and power, for thou hast created all things, and for thy pleasure they are and were created. The sea of glass is not literally made of glass, but rather a vast, transparent expanse that resembles glass, clear and brilliant. This idea is reinforced by its comparison to crystal, which refers to something clear and translucent, like ice or glass. The sea of glass is positioned in such a way that it doesn't have the same function as the laver in the Old Testament sanctuary. It may stretch out beneath the throne and possibly extend further, forming the foundation of the city itself. It reappears in chapter 15, verse 2, where it's described as the place where the victorious overcomers will stand, filled with ecstatic joy after their final triumph. The 4 living creatures is a more accurate translation, a correction that most commentators now agree with. The word here is different than the word used in Revelation chapter 13 and beyond, which refers to the prophetic beasts. These creatures are even more closely associated with the throne than the 24 elders, as they are positioned in the very midst of it, surrounding it. Like the elders, the living creatures praise the Lamb in their song. This shows us that they acknowledge their redemption through Jesus. They belong to the same group as the redeemed and represent a portion of the vast multitude from the earth who have been lifted from the captivity of death. They sing, Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty, which was and is to come. That concludes our time together. Thank you for joining us. We hope you have enjoyed this nugget of prophecy. Join us next time as we continue on in Revelation chapter 5. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. We look forward to seeing you again soon.